Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be showing you a ceremonial swords guide. So what are ceremonial swords? It's a smithing activity in Artisans Workshop. It is located in the east section of Falador. For inventory setup, you need to bring lots of noted coal and a specific metal ore. I also have sword polishing kits, but I'll explain later in this video. Other helpful equipment to wear is the full Blacksmith outfit, Falador Shield 4, and smithing brawlers if you have any of them. Also, it's very essential to have clan avatar right beside you. Basically how this workshop works is there's a smelter in the middle of the workshop. What you do is deposit the ores in the furnace. Then you have an interface to withdraw them as ingots. There are various ingots grades ranging from 1 through 4, so select from the drop down menu until you find the right ingot. Depending on the ingot grade, there are various activities that require a specific grade. Ceremonial swords in particular require an ingot grade 4, or IV in Roman numerals. Each tier metal ingot requires a specific amount of coal and metal ore. Basically, you can withdraw a full inventory of ingots in one click, but make sure you have at least one inventory space. In this video, I'm making rune ceremonial swords. The ceremonial sword smithing activity is just north of the smelter. You can talk to the NPC by right-clicking Get Plans option, and then he'll give you a sword design. The next thing you must do is go to an anvil in the workshop to smith the sword. As soon as you click the anvil, you'll now get an interface. At the top of the interface is a sword model. Your goal is to recreate the shape by matching the sword plans. By clicking on the hammers, you add numbers to each part of the sword. What the number does is it shows you how much you must hit the ingot in order to match the sword design. For example, if it says 8, you must hit a value of 8 on a particular part of the sword corresponding. At the top left corner of the interface is the cooldown. What this means is the amount of moves you're allowed before you must stop hitting the sword and hand it in. Each time you click the hammer, one move is consumed. On the bottom right corner of the interface is the strength of the hit. This is where perfection comes into play. You select the option based on how hard you want to hit. Now there's a random range starting at 0 for every option except careful, so you aren't always going to get a perfect if the RNG does not go your way. Soft can hit up to 2 and typically hit a 1. Medium can hit up to 3 and typically hit a 2. Hard can hit up to 5 and typically hit a 3. Careful, however, guarantees to hit a 1 all the time, but consumes 2 moves. Note that if you do hit more than 8 on the tips of the sword, or more than 6 on any other part of the sword, it is broken. If that breaks, not only do you lose the ingot, but you gain no experience. Once your sword matches the design, or you run out of moves, right-click Get Score from the same NPC. You can manually close the interface instead if you feel that you're done smithing the sword. He will then award you experience based on how perfect the sword matches the design. Each location below or above the required hit amount on the design will deduct you a certain percent downwards from 100%. If a sword is perfect, however, you get 120% experience. Then after that, you simply repeat the same process for each ingot. So let's go over my main strategy. My main objective is to smith the swords as fast as possible, and as perfect as possible. It requires a lot of attention and fast thinking. I start by looking for anything that requires 4 or higher, and then hit them hard. Then I look for an area that requires 3, and hit them with the medium. After that, soft on all 1s and 2s remaining. If you overhit the sword, don't feel frustrated about it because it happens a lot. Just finish off the remaining possible moves and hand in the sword. Some people might suggest to YOLO hit a medium on a 2. I personally do not do this for rune ceremonials because I'm more careful on perfection. However, if a sword has a lot of 2s left but not a lot of moves, you should hit a medium. Lower tier ceremonial swords are cheaper, so it's not really worth the time to make it perfect. There are rewards you can buy from Artisans Workshop. For every 10,000 base smithing experience you gain from any activity, you are rewarded 1% respect. With respect, you can buy various rewards by talking to an NPC on the basement of this workshop. The best reward to buy that helps for smithing ceremonial swords is the bonus package or sword polishing kits. The bonus package, which costs 100% respect, comes with a few grade 4 ingots, 50,000 bonus smithing experience, and 10 sword polishing kits. Personally, I bank the lower tier ingots and save them for later. What a sword polishing kit does is, while it's in your inventory, it'll prevent a ceremonial sword from breaking. It's only consumed if a sword breaks, so 10 should last you a while. You can also buy a pack of 10 of them separately for the cost of 10% respect. Respect is capped at 100%, so be sure to spend it. There's also a daily challenge for ceremonial swords. Depending on your smithing level, you may or may not get one. The coolest thing about a daily challenge is once you're finished a challenge, not only do you get rewarded a fair bit of experience, but you also get instant refund based on the value of the materials you used. A daily challenge can also be doubled with 50 Viswax. The highest daily challenge for smithing is Rune Ceremonial Sword. I'm currently wearing a full smithing outfit with Brawling Gloves and Falador Shield 4. I'm also holding a clan avatar. I also have Refer a Friend scroll active, which is another 10%. The video was recorded during double Artisans Weekend. So let's compare the other methods. In comparison to Burial Armor, Addy and Rune Ingots grade 3 are around 238k and 318k base experience per hour respectively. This is including the 5% from smithing the Spotlighted Armor, both of which are more expensive than Ceremonials. It's very AFK however. Addy Plate Bodies and Rune 2H's both on a Portable Forge and Crystal Hammer are around 350k smithing experience per hour. Addy Plate Bodies cost around 5 GP per EXP, while Rune 2H's can almost profit, or sometimes profit actually. Protein bars are around 370k an hour, with a forge, and it's almost fully AFK. However, they come in limited supply. Dragonfire shields are almost 1 mil an hour. I highly do not suggest this because not only is it expensive, but it's also difficult to bypass the 10 every 4 hour buy limit, unless you got a lot of friends or alt accounts to help you out. They also take a while to sell too. Addy Ceremonial swords are actually around half the price of Rune Ceremonials, yet only give 24% less experience. If you can't afford Rune, just stick with Addy. Same strategy really. Overall, I got 2.1 million experience this hour, and 53 swords made. I have tested it before and I range from 50 to 55 swords per hour. The bare minimum experience rate is hard to determine because there are multiple variables that factor in, such as experience boosts, swords per hour, and how perfect they are. I also only wore Brawling Gloves on a perfect sword, so if you were to wear Brawling Gloves all the time, you could easily get more. So is this method worth doing or not? As a daily challenge, yes. But if you're going to do it without a daily challenge, it's fairly expensive. This is why I highly suggest using the best experience boost possible. Each pair of Brawlers can last you well over 8 hours of smithing Ceremonial swords. Remember to save those up for Artisans Weekend because regular bonus experience weekend does not stack with Brawling Gloves. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope this video helps. If I missed anything, feel free to ask.